Hey guys, thanks for tuning back in. So this week I want to show you guys how I created this super simple halo goddess braid at the request of my client. So if you guys want to see, just stay tuned. So I started off by sectioning off the middle of her head, and this is going to act as my foundation braid, and that's going to help me to create those nice even vertical braids going down either sides of her head. And once I created that section, I just went ahead and added a little bit of product. I can't remember which product this was, but I believe it was an edge control. And that's just to help me to grip the hair better to create a nice, smooth, even braid. Now, once I have that established, I'm going to go ahead and start separating this Yaki Perm that my client brought me. And I just created maybe about 12 really small sections. I wasn't sure how much hair I was going to need for each vertical braid, but I went ahead and just created enough sections so I wouldn't have to stop and re-separate hair. So I use that foundation braid to act as a guide to create a part down to her ear, and then I'm just going to part another even section so that I can have so that I can create the two braids, but I want to make sure that both sections are pretty even. And so after that, I'm just going to add a little bit of product, and I did use the Mielle Organics Edge Gel. And so I already did the first braid, and here's just a close-up of how I fed in the weave for the second braid. I do want to note that some of the sections for the weave that I separated earlier some of them were a little bit bigger than the others. So with this braid, I only used 2 strands of the weave to feed in the hair because I felt like the braid was thick enough and even enough all the way down that I did not have to add any more hair in. But I know like later on in the video, I think I used maybe about 3 or 4 strands in another braid, but that's just because the strands were smaller. So you want to just kind of feel, how the braid is going to determine how much hair you want to add to the braid. And guys, this will be a great time for you all to subscribe to my page and also hit that bell so you guys can stay updated with all my latest videos. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and continue this braid all the way down the hair shaft until I feel like it's long enough, and then I begin to work on the other side. So yeah, here I'm using 1 strand, 2 strands, 3 strands, 4 strands, and I continue to braid. And oh wow, I used 5 strands, but as you can see, the braid is still pretty even. And so yeah, that was just something to note. Again, just make sure you're just feeling how the braid is going down the hair shaft as you're adding in hair, because you do want the braids to look even. So even if you're not sectioning off the exact same amount of hair per section, just kind of feel where you're headed with the braid. So now before I start the actual halo part, I'm just going to separate this expressions braiding hair, and I'm going to make sure that I cut it in half. And this hair is like really, really long, so I always cut this hair in half. And then I'm going to separate really, really big sections from this hair. And so I just want to do it because you want the halo braid to be a little more chunky. So you're going to take a lot more hair when you're separating. And then I just want to make sure that I stretch the ends out so that when I braid it all the way to the end, it'll be easier for the braid to not unravel. So yeah, so I'm just separating like really big portions of the hair, and then I'm just going to separate it, and I put a little bit of holding product just to keep it together so it'll be easier for me to grip when I'm braiding. And so I just use some of that Yaki Perm to blend in to create the sections. And then so I'm just using a little bit of jam to put on her hair to smooth it down. And I'm really just trying to work that product in there. And I didn't put a lot of product because I didn't want her hair to wave up. And so I'm just going to comb that through and smooth that all the way down so that I can start the braid. So I always start my halo braids in the back left side, and I don't know if that's just because I'm left-handed, but I always start it in the back left side, and I'm just going to create a little section, and with the first section, I'm just going to create as if I am about to do box braids or weave braids, and I'm just going to use that normal method, and I'm just going to start braiding that hair. But as I'm braiding on the shaft, I want to make sure that the hair is really, really smooth. And so I'm just going to take my comb, excuse me, I'm going to take my comb and I'm going to smooth down the next section of her hair, and I'm just going to add that into the braid. And then I'm just going to go ahead and add another strand of the hair, and I'm just going to continue that process until all of the weave is fed into her hair and the halo braid is taking effect. So I high-key don't know what happened to the last clip, but I just braided the braid all the way around and I secured the ends inside the halo braid with bobby pins. So now I'm just adding the beads to the front of the hair, and then I'm just lengthening it a little bit so I can see how long I want the beads to hang. And after I figure that out, I'm just going to add a rubber band to that end, and after I secure it with the rubber band, I'm just going to cut off the remainder of the hair. And once that's complete, I'm just going to touch up her edges with some more of that Mielle Organics edge control. And I'm just going to do that on both sides because you guys know how I feel about my edges. And I'm just going to finish off her look by adding some oil sheen and spray. And that really is going to complete the final look. And I just turned her around for the big reveal to see how she likes it. She never looks at her styles while I'm doing it. She always waits until I'm finished, which I don't know how she does that. But this is the final look, and I can say that she was very satisfied with her hair, which that makes me very, very happy. So if you guys like this look, please give it a like, give it a thumbs up, rate it, subscribe, comment, share it. If you do decide to do this look, definitely tag me on Instagram at HairByMason. I would love to see how your braid came out. So yeah, I will see you guys in my next upload. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hey, if you guys haven't done it already, be sure to subscribe to my page and hit that bell because I am having a 10K giveaway and you don't want to miss it.